Hi, fourth grade artists. It's Miss O here. Today we are going to review some of our lines. We're going to use those lines to decorate a landscape we are going to draw here in just a few minutes. For those of you who don't remember, a landscape is a drawing or a picture of the outdoors. So it can include the ocean, rivers, grass, mountains, the sky. Just think about anything that you might see in nature. You can include some buildings, you can include trees, a road. There's so many possibilities. So your landscape by no means needs to look exactly like mine. I'm going to break my landscape up into three parts. The bottom, which will be in front, the middle, and then whatever is at the top is the background, and that's what's furthest away from us. I'm asking that you use at least 5 different lines to decorate your landscape today. These can include horizontal lines, vertical lines, diagonal, zigzag, wavy, spirals, looped lines, castle lines, and anything else you can think of. When you are done with your project, it might look a little bit like this. Let's go ahead and get started, 4th grade. Today, I'm going to use a Sharpie to do my outlining. You can use a pencil if you want. You could use a black marker. It is totally up to you depending on what you have at home. If you are using a Sharpie, I ask that you are very careful. Do not get it on the table. And I would actually put something underneath your paper just to protect whatever surface you're working on. So I'm going to start with the front of my landscape, and I'm going to go ahead and make a wave. So I'm going to kind of curve up and then make a spiral just like this. I'll then make a waved line, and down here, just so I have 2 sections of my water, I'm going to make another wavy line, just like that. Behind the wave, I'm going to go ahead and make some grass. These lines are just going to be a little bit diagonal. I'm going to start at the edge here, and I'm going down just a little bit. It's going to go behind this wave over here. I'm going to make this line go up just a little bit. Behind my grass, I would like to go ahead and make some mountains. These are going to kind of be a zigzag going up and down. In the sky, I'm going to go ahead and make a sun. I'm going to put my sun at the top today. And I'm going to make some rays coming out of the sun. You could add some clouds. Your picture could be at nighttime. It is totally up to you. Now that I'm done with the basic parts of my landscape, I can go ahead and start adding different lines inside of each space. Now, you can do the lines with a Sharpie, and I'll do a couple like that so you can see. You could do these with a marker. So I could do blue lines for the water, green lines for the grass, gray for my mountains, yellow or orange for my sun. Totally up to you. This is your piece of art. I'll go ahead and use the black for the water just so you can see how that looks. And then I'm going to switch to marker for my other sections. In the water, I'm going to start off making some horizontal lines, just going back and forth. I'm going to make sure I kind of get those lines up into the waves here. And in this section, I'm gonna go ahead and make some spirals. I kind of like it when the spirals go off and I just make some curved lines, like the spirals almost behind this wave here. I'm just kind of picking up my Sharpie and continuing those curved lines, just like that. You can make some bigger, some smaller. Makes it a little bit more interesting. All right, I went ahead and skipped ahead and made dashed lines in the grass with 2 different kinds of green, and I made zigzag lines in the mountains with gray. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with my sun. Again, I could do this with my Sharpie like I did down here, or I could use marker. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with marker just to make the sun seem a little bit brighter. I'm gonna choose orange and then color the background yellow, I think, because the yellow marker might have some trouble showing up. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different lines so far. So I really only need 1 more type of line for the sun. I'm gonna go ahead and make some wavy lines. And I think I'll go ahead and make this a pattern. So I think I'll skip this and then do wavy lines here and here as well. I actually really like how this orange is looking next to the gray. Then I think I'll go ahead and use pink and do my other 3 sections with some looped lines. Inside the sun, I could just leave this blank or I could fill it in. I think I might just color the sun yellow here in a moment, so I'm just gonna leave that section blank. If you have 5 different lines and you want to leave a section blank and just color that in, that is totally fine as well. For coloring, I can use my crayons or colored pencils. Both can blend together. You can overlap colors, you can color lightly or color darker. So because I have these out, I'm gonna use the crayons today. I like that I have a light blue and a dark blue for the water. So I actually might start with the dark blue. I'm just gonna color lightly, going back and forth, or little circles. And I really like how the black Sharpie still shows through. I also kind of like pressing down a little bit harder around the top of the wave to kind of create some interest there. So I can, you know, make this line a little bit darker and then fill in the rest lightly. It's totally up to you. I can also go ahead and even blend this in to the second half of the bottom wave. So what I'm gonna do is take this and start on top of the dark blue and then blend it out this way. So you can't really tell where the darker blue ends and the lighter blue is beginning. And I can go back over and do a little bit more dark blue, kind of mixing those together. Might be a little bit hard to tell the difference when you're watching this, but it does look very pretty here in person. Take this, do that outline. You can do the same thing with colored pencils if you have them at home. For this section, since I did this with Sharpie, I could color with the marker, but I really prefer the crayons just because I can color lightly and layer them. I am not going to go through and color this entire piece for you because that would take quite a while. So here's the piece that we did in class earlier, and I went ahead and colored the entire thing. So I made sure to kind of do some blending with my green here. I did a pattern with the sun. I really like how this turned out with all the different colors and all the lines layered going up the page. I hope you have a lot of fun doing this 4th grade, and I will see you next time.